Well, we're in the middle of October, and we have some new events that are coming up in November that I feel like the guides need to share with you guys. I had a friend ask me if I had any information on events that may be happening in the next 28 days, which from today's October the 9th. And so around that time is going to be around November the 4th. And so I asked my guides to give me an update on what's going to happen to the earth energetically and what the outcome will be. And they had some interesting information. So I'm going to ask them again and have them provide the information. So this is going to be around November the 4th. So what my question is to my guides, um, please let us know or give us the information on what energetic patterns or what will be affecting the earth within the next 28 days around November the 4th. And what we also want to know is what the outcome from these energetic patterns will be. What we want you to know is that the energetic patterns that are going to be provided to the earth and the earth's consciousness within the next 28 days will be a high magnetic power that has an electromagnetic field that will disrupt consciousness. What we want you to understand is that the earth and the sun are regulating together to create more energetic impulses that will create more chaos that resides upon the earth. But what we want you to understand is that this is a good thing. We want you to understand that the sun will have more explicit sun flares or solar flares that we want you to be aware of. We want you to understand that the solar flares will be at a magnitude that are much greater than what the human mind has recognized. We want you to understand that there will be strong impulses that will be emanated from the sun's surface that will be directed at the earth. And what we want you to understand is that this particular field of energy will have an electromagnetic effect that will affect all humans. We want you to understand that this specific electromagnetic effect will alter or will affect humans in a way that they haven't been subjected to up to this particular point. It will be a higher frequency than what humans are used to, and it will cause chaos within the physical body and on the human realm. We want you to understand that the human body may experiences severe aches and pains and relentless tiredness, and I'm going to call it fatigue. But what we want you to understand is that the mind will become, it's basically what I see it as, it's pulsing. And what we want you to understand is that it'll be overloaded. And so as humans begin to recognize that they're having severe pains throughout their body, we want you to understand that it's the electromagnetic current that's occurring. But what we also want you to understand is that this will create chaos for those individuals that have not alleviated the pain and the sorrow in their life and continue to suffer with anxiousness, fear, and low vibrational energy. What we want you to know is that these individuals that have not done clearing patterns upon their um, the physical body, we want you to understand that this particular form of energy will be harder and demonstrate more chaos, as not only will their mind begin to create the ability to overload or become overwhelmed, it will create anxiousness and envy that may not have surfaced in this way before. What we want you to understand is that this particular envy can create traumatic events or violent events. And what we want you to understand is that there is a likelihood that there will be violence that is existing upon the earth at that particular time. But what we want you to understand is that the significance of this event is to raise the consciousness of all humans. We want you to understand that those that are moving forward with more of the flow and allow these energetic patterns to pass through them, they will begin to find more harmony and peace than what they have known before. So, what we want you to understand is that those that are fighting and holding on to the dense energy, they will be the ones that begin to struggle. They will find their own emotions become overwhelming, and this is what will create the conflict and the chaos. What we want you to know is that once again, these particular the flares from the solar, that's what they're calling them, the solar flares are of much significance. They are planned and they have been regulated in order to achieve a specific outcome. What we want you to understand is that this outcome is meant to create more peace, not more chaos. But what we want you to know is that at this particular time, when humans are struggling to find their footing, recognize that this can cause more chaos. But what we want you to understand is that it will also begin to reside at a rapid rate. What we want you to know is that the chaos won't last and it will dissipate within approximately 6 days from that time period. And so, again, what I'm asking is that the time period is from around November the 4th. And so, what we want you to understand is that it will create chaos, but then again, it'll bring a greater sense of peace than what's been known before. What you'll begin to find is that humans will reach a point of breaking and allow themselves to surrender to the goodness that is being created. We want you to understand that the human will become more related to their heart when they recognize that they can let go of more belief systems or patterns that have created more separation. We want you to understand again that this is part of our plan as we create a more loving society and environment. This is what is being created in order to assist those that are in need. What we also want you to understand is that all is well. We want you to recognize that the earth is changing and the shifting of its axis will also create a change within the earth's surface. But what we want you to understand is that this is also intentional. We want you to understand that as the earth shifts, you'll begin to recognize that there will be more natural trauma or effects that will be created. And so what I'm seeing is more natural weather storms, earthquakes, possibly volcanoes erupting. They're saying disturbances in the ocean. But what we also want you to understand is that it's important and it's relevant for the earth to shift in a specific direction so it will be more aligned with what is needed in the energetic patterns to create what is meant to be. And this is of that earthly nature that is of a more harmonious balance. What we also want you to understand is that the wildlife will begin to flourish. You'll begin to recognize that there will be more abundant animals in a way that are traveling in more ways that they can be seen. They're saying basically the animals aren't going to be hiding as much as they used to. They're going to be more visible to us. And they're saying what we want you to understand is the significance of the animals as they are the guides and the extra form of vibrational frequency that is of love. So what we want you to understand is that they will begin to understand how to come to the surface and become more surface dwellers and walk upon the earth to be more well known. And what we want you to know is that this will also help the heart and the human grow to create more compassion. We want you to understand that as the humans and the animals begin to be more interactive, this also creates the collective wholeness that will create more peace and harmony, the understanding of the connectedness of all things. You will also begin to recognize that the water will rise. And what we want you to know is that this is also of a significant value as it's shifting the Earth's water current in a different direction that will become more harmonious to all that is and to the universe. We want you to understand that this is also a significant change or disruption that is on the Earth's surface. But once again, we want you to recognize that the strongest impact will be at the beginning of November, and it will last for about 30 days. We also want you to understand that the ultimate outcome will be of a more harmonious nature. Find your love and stand in the truth of who you are, and you'll begin to recognize how all is well. We want you to understand that those that are ill at ease or that are of the lower, denser vibration will be fussing or fighting amongst each other, and those that are more of the love nature will be congregating in a way that brings more harmony. So what we want you to understand is that the darker, denser energy is being pushed to the side as the love and the light is beginning to spread. We allow you to recognize that this particular scenario is unheard of on the earthly nature. But what we want you to understand is that you are being told that these specific events so that you will be prepared and there will be no fear that is enhanced at that particular time. We want you to understand that we love you all, that all human beings, all life, all of creation that is existing upon the earth is of the ultimate form of love. And what the message is that we have to give you all today is that of the most purest form of love. And recognize that as we rise above, we also exist within. With every human that is existing on the earth, as well as all objects, meaning plants and animals, water, the sky, the clouds, everything is a part of us, which is the most congruent form of love. We want you to understand that we are changing the earth and that you will find that love that resides within you in ways that you've never known before. And this is our gift. And we are providing this gift to you and to all humans so that this shift will take place in a rapid way. We want you to understand that the next 60 days are even going to be more impactful as the resonancy or the vibrational frequency that will occur within the next 20 days. You'll begin to recognize that the implementation and the ingrainment of this energy will begin to take hold, and you will find the miraculous results as astounding. And this is what we have to give to you today. So I hope that makes sense to you guys. The way that I see it, the way that the story was told to me or the words were told to me is that, over the next 28 days or so, we're going to have some pretty serious solar flares. And the energy that's coming from the sun is going to be affecting us and the earth in a really powerful way. And more so than what they have been. We've had some really powerful solar flares over the past year, but this one is going to even be more so. They did mention in the past reading that it may affect electronics and those things, those devices, anything that has to do with electromagnetic impulses. And so, we may go through a little bit of inconvenience. Our computers may not work, our phones may not work, that kind of thing, which we've heard before. But my guides haven't mentioned that before. So I do want to reiterate that is something that may happen. I also want to make sure that we all understand that I'm not a fearmonger, and this isn't being said to create more fear or chaos. Why I'm giving you this message is to recognize that we need to be prepared for what's coming so that we don't think that it's Armageddon or the end of the world. It's actually the beginning. It's a new beginning. It's a transformational stage. And what the end result of this is going to be is not chaos and crazy. We have to get through that to get to this place of love, joy, and happiness. And that's what they keep saying is the end result. And I hope that you guys understood that message, that that's what's happening, is that we're just in this transition place to have more love and peace. But I also want to recognize that the earth shifting on its axis is also kind of a big deal, because if and when the earth does shift a little bit, changing, like the earth can be in this position and it just changes just a hair in a different way from its axis, then it's going to cause some natural stuff to happen. And I saw very clearly that, there may be some earthquakes, some volcanoes may erupt, there may be some more hurricanes, there may be some tsunamis. The things that are those natural disasters may occur because of the shifting of the earth. The other thing that they were mentioning is that the tides are changing in the ocean, and being able to see that the flow of the tides may be shifting slightly. And that's going to be something that's a little bit different for us to understand as well, because again, where the water's warm, it may turn cold, and where the water's cold, it may turn warm. And so there may be some big major environmental shifting that's going on. But what we need to do is understand that nature's got this, and we understand that the universe knows what's happening, and they're the ones that are creating it. So if we can stay true to ourselves, stand in the place of love and honoring the earth, respecting it, and loving that idea and the knowing of oneness and wholeness and completeness, then we're all going to be fine. It's all going to be just fine. And so just have a heads up that there may be some things that are coming. According to the records, they are. But just know that the end result, regardless of what happens at the particular time that they're talking of, the end result is going to be more love and more compassion for one another. And actually, that makes me excited. I'm really looking forward to the day that we can love one another and are not divided. So I think that's where we're going to end this. Love to every one of you.